Oh, would you like some Raspberry Pi too? Maybe we just talk about markets instead. And welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified when new media comes out. Your support is so appreciated, guys. Thank you. Let's talk about the markets, and specifically, let's start with the Fear and Greed Index. Crypto Fear and Greed Index right now is still holding true at 18. We dipped pretty low down to 10, from 18 and back up to 18 again. What does it mean? It means there's a lot of fear. In fact, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index would classify this as extreme fear. Generally speaking, these are considered really good times to buy because so many other investors and so many other retail speculators like you and me are fearful. And so they're selling their assets. They're selling them off, in some cases cheaper than when they bought them. And they're not really paying attention to the big picture, zooming way out and seeing that things could make a return to strength and flip back into the extreme greed phase before we get out of 2021. Is this financial advice? No, it is not financial, legal, business, or other advice. You need to make your own choices and you need to own up to the outcome. Appreciate you watching this and getting a quick sense for what is possible in today's market. Let's look at whattomine.com, go over some of our GPU mining profitability, starting with 4 gig cards at the 570 from AMD. Cost for power at 12 cents. That's been our standard. Looking at profitability and difficulty for revenue averaging over 7 days. Why are we averaging over 7 days? Because if we try to look at only the 24-hour numbers, unless you're selling every 24 hours, that won't give you an idea of what's actually doable in the current circumstances, right? In the current environment of GPU mining. We've got to look at 7 days and we've got to mine the averages. If you're only getting a payout every 3 to 7 days, or maybe even once every 2 weeks, then you're not going to really get solid info by looking at the 24-hour profitability charts. So let's go back in at that 570. Looks like very top of the list is Ethereum Classic in terms of the profit. It looks like Ravencoin is a little bit higher in the stacked ranking. Not totally certain why, but it looks like the actual dollars and cents, it's Ethereum Classic all day on 4 gig cards. Not much has changed there. Take a look at our older series cards, 380 and the AMD Fury, right? That would be an HBM card, very similar to the Vega series of cards in terms of its memory throughput. After calculating for that, similar story, but between two cards weighted a little more heavily towards the Fury, we've got higher profit on Ethereum Classic even still. Looking at newer cards from AMD, Vega 56, calculate what that HBM beast is doing on 12-cent power, almost $3 per day on Ethereum. Kind of makes sense. Ethereum is doing really, really well. Of course, ETH for NiceHash is listed here. I do not recommend that anybody uses NiceHash. In fact, I recommend that you actively find any other way to sell your hash rate if you're not sure where you're going to mine. They are known bad actors, and they have a shady history of helping bad actors to 51% attack other coin networks. There, I said it. I said it in the open because I've heard that from the coin founders and the coin leadership themselves, where they suspected and they had a solid info trail leading back to NiceHash. You should not enable bad actors. All right. And again, I know it's a business. I know you're after the top dollar. Thank goodness. In these market conditions, top dollar does not go to NiceHash. So you don't owe them a thing. Even if you're a profit maximalist, you don't need to stick with NiceHash. You can go with another company and you can feel better about it, or another group and feel better about it. All right. Moving from Vega 56, let's go to the top of the line in the Vega architecture, the Radeon 7, also 12-cent power, looking at Ethereum at over $6 per day, nearly 6.25. And then with the 5600 XT and the 6700 XT, we'll call that bottom of the line for the newer architectures. And then we'll get an average here of almost $6 between those two cards, being a little bit lighter for the 5600 than the 6700 XT. And now top of the line, 5700 XT and 6800 XT. The only reason we're not using 6900 XT numbers is because this is faster for us to quickly go through and get these averages. Filtering for above 5 Bitcoin in daily volume for trading, so you can easily sell these. You've got Ethereum top of the list at almost $8 a day between those two cards, weighted more heavily towards the 6000 series. On Team Green, let's go with our value and efficiency cards. So the 1060, the 1660, the 2060, and the 3060 between 4 cards, calculating an average of over $7, weighted more heavily towards the 3060 1060 and the RTX cards, but with the 1060 still earning profit every single day. Unbelievable, because it's an old card that should probably be retired and put into old workstations and stuff. Top of the line for all of Team Green, we're going to go with our 1080 Ti, our 1660S or Super, our 2080 Ti, and our 3090. Calculating the profit for those four powerhouse cards, top of their respective generation of technology, we've got almost $15.15, or exactly $15.15 in profit every single day, with nearly half of that going to the 3090. So very strong performance from that 3090 in terms of GPU profit. Not as profitable as it was at our first episode. Here we are, still in the money with GPUs. Let's take a look for today's episode at ASICs and specifically at mining Bitcoin. We're going to check out the cost to mine just one Bitcoin on the MicroBT on the WhatsMiner M30 Plus or M30S Plus. And it looks like right now the cost to mine one full Bitcoin is just over $4,000. That's a deal, but that's on 3-cent power. Let's go back to the same standard that we had for our other GPU miners, and it looks like we're closer to $16,000 mining on that WhatsMiner, on that MicroBT WhatsMiner model. Still not bad considering that's less than half of the current cost of one full Bitcoin. So for a dollar cost average strategy, you're getting a subsidy of nearly 50% off on your Bitcoin. That's why I'm so bullish on mining. It's something of a subsidy for a dollar cost average investing strategy. Again, without giving advice, that's how I view it. You get 50% off the price of your Bitcoin by mining it. Not bad at all. However, the availability of some of these models, not so great. Let's take a look at the S9 right now by Bitmain. And the Bitmain S9 by the Antmain S9, currently no longer in the money at 12-cent power. You're going to be spending $42,000 to mine one full Bitcoin on that S9. Looks like in order to actually break even, you'd need 10-cent power or lower. If that describes you, maybe the Antminer S9 is still a good choice for you. But I think in order to stay really profitable, you'd have to get down to that magical unicorn 5-cent power level that everybody wishes they could get, but nobody ever seems to be able to find. At that price, you're doing one full Bitcoin at almost the same all-in cost as the more efficient, newer models, but you're getting your hardware much less expensively. So for the deal hunters out there, for those of you who can find a few of those S9 units, or you know somebody who has a few of those S9 units or parts for you to be able to cobble back together your own, maybe that's the right choice for you. Take a look at CoinGecko and view into our portfolios. And for our first portfolio, we're going to take a look at GPU mineable coins. Looks like since we started this portfolio with $1,000 in each category, and this is just paper. I haven't put in my own money here, and I'm not telling you that you should do this either. This has been a paper portfolio where we've just, for example, tried to track the profit and loss of these coins over time. We started with $1,000 in each one of these coins, and now we're tracking to see how well they've done since we started. Looks like at the top of the stack, we've got Ergo with a 32% price rise since we started this portfolio. It's the only one that's performing that strong. It's a distant second to get to Conflux at 13%. Ethereum doing pretty well since we started the portfolio. That said, already a bit of depressive action on the price for both Bitcoin and Ethereum when we started the portfolio, so that should be considered. That was not from the all-time high of this season back down. That's after we saw a little bit of downward price movement in Ethereum. So still exciting to see. Since we started this portfolio, it's recovering a little bit. Ethereum Classic, the same, pretty close to Ethereum. Ravencoin, it's above zero, right? We're not just moving sideways with Ethereum or with Ravencoin. Flux, or the Flux token and the Flux network, also doing really well. Pretty strong recovery in the last 7 days, pulling us back up to equilibrium or homeostasis, right? We haven't lost, we haven't gained a whole lot either. Still nice to see it not in the red. RenBTC and Wrap Bitcoin, which again are on this list because as GPU miners, especially drawn to Ethereum, we can quickly swap on permissionless DEXs and AMM systems like Uniswap and obtain these representations of Bitcoin on Ethereum. So if they perform well, why not? Well, this is precisely why we're tracking these things, is to see if as a GPU miner, it makes more sense for you to leave your coins in their native format, pegged to some kind of a stable token like USDC, or flip it all the way over to Bitcoin, a much higher market cap store of value that a lot of people would argue is maybe better to hold long term. I don't know. Let's take a look at this portfolio and see what the numbers say. Looks like RenBTC and Wrap Bitcoin are a little bit lower. They're the first two in the red, but they're not the last two in the red. red, that distinction goes to BitTube. BitTube is down from $1,000 to under 700. Haven also is under 900, not quite as far as BitTube. BitTube is down in the dumps. For as high as we went on Ergo, we get that same 31% dump in BitTube since we started the portfolio. It makes me really sad. The team there is working really hard. I know that they've really had a strong vision for where they would hope it would go, and it just hasn't done that. It's just too bad, guys. Conceal also is in the red, but not nearly as far, where it's still in the 800s, not too far from Haven. Same with Zano, we're below 900 in Ryo currency. Firo is above 900, Swap is above 900 and getting close to that $1,000 mark. Beam and Wimble coin also kind of making a strong showing there, keeping us pretty close to the $1,000 mark. Let's look at our hard drive portfolio, see how they've done. MadeSafe coin, still top of the stack. It's 126% up. Oh my gosh. Okay, this portfolio is just, it's getting knocked out of the park with MadeSafe coin. Kind of makes me sad that I didn't put actual money into this, right? Because here we are with that $1,000 starting investment, and we're over $2,200 on MadeSafe coin. Not sure what's happening there. I kind of feel like we're obligated now. I asked if I should at the last video. We're obligated now to take a closer look at MadeSafe coin, see what's going on in this episode right now live. But second place is Burst, still above the $1,000 mark, still in the black is Storage. Below, not exactly in the dumps, just in the red, barely, is Filecoin, Chia, and Saya coin. They're all above $900. Chia is right there in the middle at about $950. Filecoin just scraping, knocking on the door of $1,000 anyway. Again, the hard drive coins seem to have done very well. The capacity coins seem to have done very well. As a whole, kind of been a little bit higher as a category than the other proof of scarcity, right? Or proof of work or proof of participation in some way, consensus coins. Look at CPUs right now. Monero, top of the list, just barely above 1,000. Raptorium, Monero, and Varus all below 1,000. And Varus still at the bottom of the stack. It's not super low, but it's not above 900. And I don't know what's going on there. I don't think it's a fundamental problem with these coins or the work that the teams are doing. It's got to be something else. Don't exactly know. Raptorium, big comeback story there in terms of recovering 60% of its value in the last 7 days. But we should have Big Piggy back on the channel. Yeah, we should. Let's talk to somebody from Raptorium very soon. You guys know where to find me. Reach out. Let's make this happen. All right, so back to our portfolio for ASICs, rounding the corner into ASIC land. If you still have your Equihash miners, if you still have your Kryptonite miners, then there are still coins for you to mine. However, the profitability of holding those coins over the long term, not super great. Those prospects are not nearly as good as some of the other things you could be doing with those coins. It looks like with Dash, it's above 900, so not down in the dumps, but it's not holding at 1,000. It's not even moving up. Bytecoin also in the 900s. Bitcoin in the 900s, not its finest hour. Certainly with Bitcoin, it is hopefully poised to make some kind of recovery before the end of the year, but this is not a technical analysis show. You do your own technical analysis. You look at your own macro cycles and figure out, and super cycles, figure out what you think is going to happen there. But I don't think this is the end of the story for Bitcoin in 2021. Pirate Chain, not doing as well as I'd hoped. Not going to lie. Really not doing as well as I'd hoped, but with some recovery this week. Zcash above 1,000, right? It's above 1,000. Doing well. I didn't see that coming. Horizon also holding pretty well, but not as strong as it looked like it was going to do before. Recent dip in its price, and I'm not sure what that's owing to, but there is more than one way to contribute to the Horizon network and project. You don't just have mining, you also have masternode operation, which may account for some of the price action and definitely accounts for some of the block reward. So it's not strictly speaking just an ASIC coin. Decred also making a bit of a comeback, I think, and then doing 1,200. That's impressive. Guys, in this episode, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. I feel like we have to take a look at MadeSafe coin because that price action almost looks too good to be true. So I want to get to the bottom of it right here, right now, figure out what's going on. MadeSafe coin on CoinGecko is showing 85 cents for the US dollar value. Looks like his Bitcoin value is up 16% as well at 2312 Satoshis. So that's not bad. Getting into the 2,000 Satoshi mark, really not bad at all. Looks like it, I think it just did that, broke the 2,000 Satoshi mark just recently. Let's look down here on the chart, compare it to its Bitcoin price, pretty well correlated to its US dollar value, except for the recent peak over the last 24 hours. And I think that we should be paying closer attention to the Satoshi value and to the Bitcoin value of some of these projects that appear to have wild surges in price and figure out just how closely correlated to Bitcoin they are. Because if they're ultra closely correlated to Bitcoin, why not hold Bitcoin, right? The daily trading volume may not allow you to enter and exit these coins very easily. But with MadeSafe coin, I'm just curious. How did we get to over $2,200 in our initial $1,000 portfolio? That just seems crazy. Seems too good to be be true, we got to take a closer look. Taking a look at madesafe.net, and then we'll possibly also just look at the bitcointalk.org forum and see if there's anything from the AND thread that can give us any degree of insight here. I mean, the original announcement back in 2014, it's not like they're a brand new project. Traded on Poloniex, traded on multiple large exchanges. You can even see right here at the bottom of the CoinGecko page, we've got Bittrex, HitBTC, and others that allow you to trade this coin right now today. Apparently with a lot of the volume between BTC and MadeSafe on HitBTC, and then another almost quarter of the full volume on Bittrex. So these are reputable exchanges, and we know that they're not necessarily going to engage in massive wash trading on some of these exchanges. They'd be caught, or they'd be prevented from doing so, at least officially. So looking at this AND thread, you can go back to the most recent announcements. It looks like we've got activity from December of 2020, and then really not a whole lot. All right. All right. So it looks like, yeah, got a few people here. All right. It looks like very, very interesting. Some criticism for the team, December 20, and then moving into 2021, got a couple posts from January, and not a whole lot else till March. Jeez, not quite as much communication happening over here. Oh my goodness. And we've got spam going on here too. All righty. Oh, May 21st, MadeSafe just launched Fleming Testnet V5 for safe network tech. Come and discover the latest enhancements here. And they've got their own SafeNet forum there. I think this helps explain a little bit about the price action, because occasionally we'll get these developer vlogs or developer blogs that help stoke the flames, right, of the community, get them really excited about being involved in this project. I suspect we're going to find a little bit of that here. This should be juicy. So taking a look at the Fleming Testnet V5 release, it looks like, 9 days ago. I think that correlates pretty well with that recent uptick. That seems to track, guys. Here we are, 19th of May, getting to that valley right there, the announcement of this new testnet going live, and then boom, big pop upwards. Could be that we caught the dip with this project. Maybe that's what I'm seeing on this chart, guys. I don't want to read into it too much, but it could be that we caught the dip on this project, and now we experienced a recent resurge based on some news from the developer team. Kind of exciting. I didn't think that this little segment would become like a MadeSafe rah-rah session. I don't hold any. I don't know if you hold any, but I mean, if you were holding any at the time that we started this portfolio, exciting time to hold MadeSafe, I guess. Kind of cool. All right, guys, that's the end of this particular episode. Really appreciate you being tuned in. What am I missing in this segment for the mining market signal? What should I add? Should I be focusing on any kind of staking coins or masternode coins? What do you think we need for this segment to make it even more valuable for you, the person who wants to use hard drives or CPUs or GPUs or just IT in general to contribute to crypto and get value back out, and then make smart decisions about where you're going to put that value? I want to help make this a really great resource for you, because I want it to be a really great resource for me, frankly, and try to be as transparent as I can be without like revealing what I've got invested in coins or asking you to do the same thing. I don't know why you would post that on social media. It's a really bad idea. But these principles, I think, are a really good idea, figuring out how better to work with these systems. But you let me know in the comments, what am I missing? What should I add? By the way, did you want one of these hats? They're available over at mindyour.biz. Thanks so much for watching. Love your face. Remember, stay private and mind your biz.
Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.